pretty messy overall.
Harsh talk, Daned, but it does come from a place of love, I'm sure.
And it's part of the strategy, right? It's not like I'm saying the guy himself is running off and doing his own thing. I understand the intent. It's just you're seeing Gigantti adapt to it. And I literally criticised Gigantti on map 1 for not adapting. Hurricane weren't adapting on map 2.
Facility.
The boy.
He's tired of Daned getting all of the attention on this Doomfist. He's going to take it for a spin himself.
He's just like #1 in Europe, huh?
Let me see about that. Let me see about that as he jumps on to Horizon Lunar Colony. British Hurricane, on the other hand, flexing themselves a little bit. This is what I love about Horizon. We see multiple options, and we're not quite sure what they're going to pull out. Davin's getting a good read on information. He's seeing the changes come in.
This is their scout, don't forget as well. They did this with the double sniper and then also having the Sombra go out as well. So chances are they can fully change things up, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Going to go over towards a interesting stuff. Guys, please, just choose.
Dotes, yes, do it. Pull the Dotes out.
Mate,
Reminiscent of the 7
This
Lions.
isn't Dotes. This is
Dotes?
No, this is like quad tank, but
mate,
different.
This is Dotes.
Nah, Dotes
brother.
is 3 tanks, my man.
Well, it's reminiscent of Dotes anyway.
Either
They're going
way,
to send it
if
onto the
someone
back
dies-
line, and Facility's looking to separate this out a little bit more to begin with, but he's under fire. Mobility will push him back, but Zappis is going to push Numlock all the way back to the spawn room. Again, that frag onto him. Down with the protective barrier. Nesh going to be pushed back onto the point, but they've got control of the point. That's the biggest thing here, is Happy's going to take out Lilbo back onto his own signature hero.
Look at the point.
Why isn't he able to get anyone on the point? Danet's on the wrecking ball now instead. Going to keep rolling himself forward, gets him all the way back to point B. And
Oh my
Bucket,
god, they can straight cap.
are you kidding me? Bucket gets that point straight away and moves on to point
they
B.
pulled off.
But they haven't got enough gas in the tank. So Dez, it's ambitious. And there was potential for it, but Hurricane needs to take a brief pause.
Happy just caused so much chaos in the backline there that Gigantti had to pull back to deal with him, and then the other tanks were like, well, let's go and join him, I guess. And they left Bucket alone on the point. The Moira, your main source of healing, while the rest went there, but they got the coalescence to play with.
The EMP should lock everyone back down on the ground. Facility goes in with the uppercut, and the biotic grenade coming out from Zappe was big, shutting down all healing for British Hurricane. And momentum has been killed. And see, we're seeing some alterations actually coming into Gigantti. Lilbo switched over to that Zenyatta, so they're going for a double flex support play.
And even with the coalescence coming out of Hurricane, Zappe lands an incredible 3-man anti-nade into there as well to cut all that healing from the tanks and just melt them down off the back of that. So really, really nice placement of that. Gigantti have got ultimates to play with on the defensive side now. Hurricane have got a couple of their own, but nowhere near as many.
Dan's dropping the minefield. They have a nano boost ready to go. Going to use it to keep someone alive. I think it was then went over to Facility. Meteor Strike dropping down on top of Nesh. That's a double kill. Uppercut into the strike. Finds 2 members of British Hurricane. 6v4. I think Gigantti have got control of this still, so they commit themselves. That minefield. Don't get anything else. Daned, don't tease us with that Doomfist. He's going back over to Brigitte. They're going to change to a more conventional composition.
Gigantti realise this as well, and they say, right, time for us to change over as well. They can, if they want to, here, go back and completely change up, but I think Gigantti now have been caught a bit late. They've got to stick with what they've got. So no Reinhardt to contest the enemy Ryan, and they're also stuck with that Ana on side, while, of course, on the other side, you're seeing that Brigitte come through the Lucio and the Zed.
Missing that mobility from the Lucio could cause some troubles. They could just get run over here by British Hurricane. Zappis going to send that bomb straight up. Graviton Surge pulls Gigantti into the fight. Danny with the shield bash damage will take him. Zappis can't get the remake as Happy Call will then blow up Facility with a bomb of his own. Milkman's jumping around the point as a Discord ornament, stunned up as he loses Primal Rage. And Bucket going to hit him and he slams into the wall. Davin receives a nano boost. It's one of their last lives here to keep this fight going as we're about to hit themselves into the 90%. They have to contest now. They got someone on the point, but it's scrappy. Davin's been pinned against the wall. Transcendence comes in for Lilbo, but it's going to expire very quickly, and the members are starting to fall off for Team Gigantti. Zappis will stay alive as long as he can with that defense matrix. D-Mech, they get another tank on the board, but it's just Milky Man. Huge shatter from Numlocked. Will seal the deal. Sizable time bank for Hurricane. This could be a very long map.
Could be 4 minutes remaining. We've seen this go to 6-7 points before as well. That's how far it could go if it really wants to go that way. But 4 minutes 15 isn't a super incredible timeout. We've seen things like 6.5 minutes before come through, so it isn't the end of the world for Gigantti. It's still not a terrible defense. Now we get to see how it works out the other side with them going onto their attack, and I'm very curious to see if Hurricane stick towards playing down on that Doomfist or if they do try and mix things up.
Even before the patch change, Hurricane were partial to that Sombra Doomfist defense. We saw it on Hanamura quite a lot from a lot of teams anyway. British Hurricane might want to roll it on Horizon here as an alternative, as they will have the first pick of what they want to run in here. Bucket, Yofi, on these two heroes. Yofi has been working on his flex support hero pool and able to enable this composition, because you do need that Zen, but you got to remember, Bocket is one of the best Annas in Europe, and he's been denied that pick by the support hero pools.
Don't forget, we mentioned this earlier on when it came to Numbani as well on that first point. We were saying, oh, seeing him there, and we saw Yofi across on the Lucio. They chose to forego that Zen. I was kind of confused as to why not, but clearly they're thinking here when it comes to playing on Horizon, well, this is a much better opportunity. Admittedly, the sightlines are a bit longer, so it makes more sense. And they can look after each other a bit better in the backline, I think, as well, because you saw what Hurricane did last time when they had 3 diving tanks. They just all powered into the top left corner. They didn't catch anyone immediately, but it was the ensuing chaos afterwards and where they started finding success.
So he spoke to Daned about the bug that was on this map when he played Doomfist, and he actually said it was a mistake. He didn't mean to do it, because usually when you do that, it kills you. It just sends you off the map.
Just sends you flying, literally, yeah.
Yeah, so that interaction. So Daned, I don't know if he's going to try and do it just to show off again.
I don't think he intended to do it there. I don't think he intended to fall backwards off the
No,
platform as it happened.
It completely wasn't intentional. It just made him look very flashy. But anyway, onto the game itself. Going to be holding that high ground. Unlocked Daned can jump onto this team. Nesh on the back line. He's been spotted out, so we'll have to use the translocator very early. Milky Man goes in with a protected barrier, and they lose Nesh. They spotted where the translocator was. They just picked him off once they forced it. Numlock will take out Milky Man, but spawn advantage in favor of Gigantti. That kill onto Nesh could prove to be pivotal here.
No, Hurricane will keep on trying as well to see what they can do to shut down, but Gigantti, the one's relatively in control of the point right now. It's just Hurricane trying to step on to contest.
Lilbo went up with the boop. I think he managed to get Bocket off the high ground, but not Yofi. So now they have to worry about Ana being potentially isolated. Going to reposition in time.
Davin
will help out Numlock. Davin will be taken off by Numlock. You're going to send Zappis up there. Milky Man finds Bocket and Yofi. 2-for-1 trade there. As Milky Man makes sure he gets both the supports, and that's really going to guarantee Gigantti this point.
Daned has missed quite a few punches now where it could have been the one-hit kill that could have turned things around for them. We saw it quite a bit when it came to Numbani playing in the streets. Now here on On Horizon, we've just seen the same thing. A very space-based Hollywood, we could say. But now we move on towards
Hollywood.
Why not? It's
a Hollywood
it's
set.
A huge drama.
It's a Hollywood set.
Exactly. But hey, we're going on the second point. 6 minutes and 45 in the clock. That's 2.5 minutes for Gigantti to best Hurricane's time bank.
Look at the high ground control with these 3 members up on the rafters, looking to drop down at the right time. They're going to send Milky Man up there for some displacement, but he knows he can't win. It's a 3v1 up on the high ground. And Davin's going to drop down. Nice seismic slam. Davin's been isolated. Punch into the wall. Meteor strike for the extra damage. Wants to cut him off. Split up the fight, but he won't catch anyone just yet. Goes in with a rocket punch, and Yofi's going to be picked off because Milky Man's on the back line. With that primal rage, and the nano boost will give him the extra damage he needs to take out Davin. The bomb's going to land in the bubble. Multiple members being knocked around by Davin. The nano boost apparently was the juice he needed to make this work, but Zappis turns it around onto Numlock. Another meteor strike. He's building his ult fast. Jumps in. Zappe smart enough to avoid the epicenter of that collision. Dan's going to move back, so Team Gigantti not getting any progress off that push, but a lot committed from Hurricane to make that happen.
It's a real struggle for Daned to find kills in these fights as well. You can see how much ult charge he was getting, yet no one was actually dying. I think he got 1 kill throughout the whole thing. That's just how scrappy these fights are getting now between these two sides.
So he's just donating charge over to Davin as he punches Mr. Zappis, who had a protected barrier. Transcendence being used by Yofi. Rest British Hurricane are going to sit in that very slow pace. The Gigantti are now going to emerge, I believe, with this coalescence and press forward. Zap has been hacked up. There's nothing he can do. Or the Discord on top of him will get DMA'd. Milky Man finding Yofi and Bocket. He keeps finding this back line, and there's not many people that can actually do. We criticized Milky Man in the past for not being good when he's forced off of the Reinhardt or not as strong. He's making a good case for his Winston play today.
And no one's off to the backside as well. Needs to get in the backline here and start getting those shields down. Just at least give his team some space. There's the EMP onto Nesh.
Beautiful. Going to lock him down. Facility also denied healing for a biotic grenade from Bocket. So that's pretty easy cleanup for British Hurricane. And they're about 40 seconds out from making Gigantti match their time bank. So it's looking good for them to burn and give themselves a slight edge in the grand scheme of this map.
They got some stall on there as well. They got the Ana ult online just to be able to give one of those get one of those tanks top back up, or yet again.
What do you mean? Give it to Daned.
Or I was about to say, or give it to Daned. It's more of the stall tactic if they really need it on someone like Numlock. But I imagine this is going fully onto Daned, like you say. Get a member picked up at the very start, suddenly in that 6 versus 5.
Straight onto Daned, no hesitation there. Meteor strike available for him. One punch first. Hang on a minute. He's been hacked up or denied something. He wasn't able to use his ult. And it's going to be Happy Cool, getting bomb with the self-destruct. Bocket picking up a kill. Even Yofi as well, denying Milky Man that aggressive kills he goes for. Daned just in the back line with Nesh as well. Going to give himself some more kills. Hurricane burning through that Gigantti time bank. They now have a time advantage, and they're milking it for everything they got, as Zappis is going to be denied himself that easy reset.
It's very hard for him to reset because you can't go outside anywhere nearby here. You have to run back past your own spawn to make it happen, or you're going to sacrifice the ult charge that you had, and that looks like that's exactly what he's going to do.
He has to sacrifice
Changes off and sacrifices it.
Well, Davin, he's not going to sacrifice the ult charge, but he's still going to make the change. He's going over to the McCree, so you have an option for Danid to keep diving into them. Double CC now, Facility and Davin both able to shut down Danid when he moves in. Jumps onto the back line, unable to do it just yet. Facility moves into the room, he's hiding in the corner. You need to check your corners when you breach into a room. Meteor Strike jumps down, misses out Lil Bo. Zap is going to push him back, 42 HP, grabs some shielding from the abilities, but he will go down eventually.
That's two
kills though in favor of Gigantti. Can emerge onto the point, spawn advantage, might be able to bring it back for British Hurricane, especially with the sound barrier coming out from Yofi, and everyone else being hacked up by the EMP coming up from Nesh, while the grenade denying healing. Davin finds Bucket. Like I said, they're just going to be able to run out of the spawn here, Des.
Lil Bo with a real big saving grace there with that sound barrier coming through. He didn't get caught in the EMP, so he could keep it safe, but Davin once again on this McCree. We've already seen what he can do, and it wants today. Davin,
Zappis will finish him off though, sweeps in there. He's exchanging ult charge for essentially progress on the point when he uses that high noon. Zappis taking out Numlock, he's going to drop that bomb as well. Clear out more, they're trading ults there to get progress on this point. 90% and ticking. Yofi can't get there in time. Gigantti are going to complete, but they're missing about a 1:30 off their time bank.
I think it was the Rados that Gigantti made it happen. It may have been Horizon, I can't remember. It was very early last season. They had 1 minute in the time bank and managed to full complete. I'm pretty sure it was the Rados.
No, it happened this season.
That's what I mean. As in, sorry.
Group stage.
Yeah, group stage of this season. Early this season.
Earlier this season.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like a long time ago. Before Christmas, before New Year, before the break. Either way, they showed they could do it at 1 minute in the clock. Now, they've got 2 minutes 42 here. They get to get attacked first. I have faith that they can get this second point attack right. They had the first one right down to a T. The second one is the important one where they really struggled there against Hurricane. Let's not forget they had 6 minutes 45 at the start. They got held for 4 minutes on that second point. If they can crack that open, suddenly things are looking very rosy for them going into map 4.
British Hurricane on defense going for the Sombra Doomfist again. That defense is Team Gigantti still eyeing up the potential. They'll probably have a cheeky little scout. I don't think they're going to commit. They may go for the more flavor of goats. It can be quite useful when you're not having to deal with so many tanks in your face, so you can miss out on that Zed and not sacrifice too much.
She's safe if you're expecting to come into a situation where Hurricane, like they did last time, will just play a lot of dive. It enables you to play a lot safer. It's almost like a, well, it basically is a 6-0 style dive where she could join you in the front line. If things get dangerous, press shift, fade away, you're perfectly safe. You're also more likely to get the Coalescence online before the Transcendence comes up. So you can use it aggressively, you can use it defensively, you can use it in that first fight just to make sure that you have that sticking power and staying power sense, and then you start rolling other ultimates on top. It is a risk, because if she gets picked off early on, well, you lose that huge advantage, and they've got the Zen with the Discord orb online. If that doesn't come to fruition, well, you're in a good spot.
Milky Man dives into the back line, and Dan is going to join him, wants to keep track of him. The rocket punch through that door won't connect. We'll get the D-Mech on Zappis. Zappis also going to take out Numlock before that happens, but Facility absent from the field while it's going. Didn't quite charge that long enough. Nesh thankfully there to pick up the slack as they translate the point. Davin uses the protective barrier to deny the seismic slam and any further damage, and they're playing off point now with not all of their members. You're going to have to retreat to collect them. Zappis especially, he hasn't got that mech. It's quite dangerous for him right now.
It's only at 65% as well, so a bit more charge work to do by the looks of it before he can get back in that one. That's what Gigantti are riding around for. I don't imagine he goes and resets here because he's so close.
He's so close. He's going to get the ult himself.
Just have to wait a bit more, and then he'll have it back online. They can go for this push again.
Milky Man was looking for the supports, and Danid comes in to save them. A defensive flavor of Doomfist to shut down Milky Man.
I don't get it when 5 of your members of your team are outside waiting for that Met to come back online while you go and just throw the fight like that. I understand you're doing some scouting work, but you can get caught and isolated so quickly by this comp with hacks, with this sleeps, with anything online that can stop you.
There comes the Meteor Strike. Davin loses most of his HP, and the Rocket Punch is good to finish it off. But he's locked the Hell in the Cell match going wrong for Team Gigantti as Danid gets the Nano Boost to make it a third. And it's Team Gigantti with 1:15 on the clock. Going back to what you were saying, Des, about Milky Man, that's exactly how Milky Man's been playing this comp the entire game. It's only now the British Hurricane decided to pay it more attention and actually put Doomfist there to punish his solo dives.
The problem you have with that is that you focus down the monkey too fast, the other members will just dive into your backline and kill you while cooldowns are down, but because there was no mech, they didn't have to worry about that.
You're going to have to worry about an EMP coming out from Nesh. He translocates himself back to safety. Dan's happy to move in there, play cleanup duty. Lil Bo is there. Look at this dive coming out from British Hurricane. If it's not Nesh, it's Danid. If it's not Danid, it's Numlock. They're layering damage to make sure they get everything out of their ult This is liquid Overwatch coming from British Hurricane.
I think Danny must have struck a deal with the monkey's paw and said, I want to be good at Doomfist, and said, you can be good at Doomfist, but only on the oddly numbered maps, because 1 has been fantastic, 2 wasn't so hot, 3 so far, he has been absolutely sublime as well. Keeping Gigantti pinned down, they can't find a response to him right now. They've got 20 seconds to go for this fight.
The sleeve up from Pocket in mid-air, it sets it up nicely, but the protective barrier was good from Davin to keep him off. Meteor struck with 5 HP, he's not going to go for the Space Jam, instead he's going to go for Zappis and deny a remake opportunity as he takes him off the field, but Facility will take out his life for that trade. Yofi, of course, will have the Transcendence online, and they need to get on point and stall even longer, but overtime is in effect for Team Gigantti. This is not looking good. They will not get another round after this, and Happy Cool wants to cut the 1 round they do have left very short by taking out multiple members. Zappe will have to go down. They can only stall for so long. And they're going to send in more to make it happen. Mobility is the name of the game for Team Gigantti. They want to stay alive, but I don't think there's a hero is mobile to make that happen. Not a lot of progress needed for Hurricane.
Absolutely not, and dare we dream, Tridd, dare we dream that this ends the same way that the series did back in Season 1? Next map type we've got to come to, if it comes down to it. If Hurricane complete here and it goes 2-1, back in Season 1, Dorado was the 7th map these two teams ended on. If they go to Dorado, Gigantti,
it's an option.
It is, but the thing is, Gigantti winning that map wouldn't win the series for them. It forces it into a tiebreaker. So it's a double heart attack coming through for Gigantti almost if British Hurricane can pull this off. But let's not forget, there is still an opportunity for this map to end in a draw.
Absolutely.
And then we can go to even more tiebreakers as we push on through.
All control maps, and we saw how that went earlier on in the season for British, earlier on in this series for British Hurricane. How dominant they were on Lijiang Tower. I don't think Gigantti wants to go to more control maps, because at that point, I think you're testing fate a little bit too much.
Panic stations.
Well, you know, we're talking about Gigantti having a heart attack. They've got a double bypass, and his name is Facility. He's on that Doomfist ready to go. Somber Doomfist defense, mirroring the composition that British Hurricane tried on their defense. Facility was an impressive Doomfist, but we haven't seen enough to make the real assessment of whether it can stand up to Danids.
I think it's like Legday said on the desk earlier on, is that we've seen this defense that we first saw pioneered on Hanamura has now spread across the horizon. How long is it?
It's a virus.
How long is it before it takes over all the other map types as well, Tridd? Or is it just quarantined into only assault maps?
I'm going to quarantine it into assault maps. I'm not having this
Every
everywhere.
other map is Doomfist Goats instead.
Davin and Numlock fighting already. Davin came out trying to take out the Numlock Widowmaker, who of course was there to scout out a composition, but puts him under pressure, denies him the vision he wants to get of the team, which is quite useful for Davin.
The best play Hurricane can go for here is pick the comp that works, build ultimates, and then go for the win. You've got 4 minutes to play with.
To get 33% of
Exactly.
point A.
We have seen teams throw so many of these points away when they've got this much overtime because they just burn ults as and when they come online in hope of winning, and they never do quite win.
Danid going on that swing, wants to get on Hydroponics. He's on Zappe, who gets immediate respect from his team, who will keep him alive. Resources being committed. You can see Milky Man up on the high ground. He's going for supports again. He wants to draw all the resources away from the point and allow British Hurricane to get on himself. 36 HP, he has to go find a health pack somewhere. But Team Gigantti have to ignore him. They have to go back on the point and contest the rest of Hurricane. But now they have to worry about Danid coming back into the fight on the Wrecking Ball any second now. They need to make progress happen. Facility's being locked up. He can't get anything done. This could be disastrous. EMP coming up with Davin. Should win the fight. Zappis and the rest of Facility take out British Hurricane. So it won't be done on this attempt, Des, but they're building towards those ults. Happy Cool's got the self-destruct online. Numlock will have Primal Rage. Nesh, a little bit further away from the Graviton Surge, but we can expect it to come out shortly.
Hurricane was so close there as well. Milky Man was down to 3 bars on his HP bar in the case where he just finished Nano Boost. He was 4% away from Primal Rage, and I thought if they catch him here, they win the round here and now. But they didn't quite manage to get the finish off, and you saw Gigantti clean the members of Hurricane up. So Gigantti, they're dealing with this well. Even with Dan in the back line, they made the right call. They ignored him and took the 6 versus 5.
Showed great restraint to make sure they didn't overcommit to chasing Danid. He's going to go back into the back line. Punched out and stunned. There's no chance of you staying in that fight, Danid. He's close to getting himself the minefield. He can drop on the point. It could be disastrous. You hear him squeak a little bit, drops it off from the high ground, but it's only around the choke. And Facility's on the hunt with the Meteor Strike. Lands right on top of Numlock, punches Yofi into the wall. The Discord will go straight on him. They want to kill him, as Milky Man will throw some hands of his own to take out Lucio. Facility's chasing more from this. British Hurricane aren't on the points. They've lost too many members. Dana gets knocked up. He's in the ball punch, but he won't commit. He's going to roll away. Roll for your life. Got him. The long-range pellets from the shotgun fist will seal the deal for Visility, and British Hurricane have 1 minute 50 to still get that 33%.
They're down to half-time, and they've been burning ults, they've burnt sound barriers, they've burnt all stuff, and now Danny is going to change away. Do we see a full team change up here as well in response?
Surely not.
I think it's just the one. They want to stick with this sort of setup again where you're playing with the tanks. The quad tank, not really doing the work for them right now. Admittedly, a very different style of quad tank, but still changing away now to playing more towards that GOAT style setup.
This is enabled by Danny's flexibility as a player. He's played a DPS, a tank, and a support in this game alone. That's pretty impressive to play at this level. Davin and the rest of the Milky Man taking them all out. British Hurricane's first offenses. Visility commits the Meteor Strike to take out Happy Cool, but unfortunately, British Hurricane will have to try again, but they didn't commit many ults, and Nesh has got the Graviton Surge online. Bucket with the Coalescence, and of course, Happy Cool still got the Self-Destruct ready to go.
They've got the combo, but the problem is against this comp, they don't play together, so there's no way you can just drop down that Graviton Surge. Let's not forget as well that its range got reduced to catch more than a couple members maybe, and then get the Self-Destruct on top. You're relying on individual pickoffs here from Hurricane, and so far, in the 3 minutes of this round, they've barely found any.
They might be scattered, Des, but they are going to have some members together that they can just pick off in bulk. Milky Man going in with the Nano Boost and the Biotic Grenade to deny a lot of healing on British Hurricane. It's going to be bad for them. They're going to commit the grab. This is the fight that Hurricane wants to win. But they take the Self-Destruct in there as well. No one going down as Milky Man pops that Primal Rage. 150 HP, getting healed up by his team, so you won't go down. I don't think anyone died in that engagement at all. There's 25 seconds remaining. Coalescence against the Transcendence for both these teams as Numlock will get his Primal Rage online, and Yofi will get the Sound Barrier rally to boot. What's on the side of Team Gigantti? Well, only realistically an EMP and potentially a Meteor Strike coming out for them.
The Transcendence is the big one though for Lilbo here. He can deny everything coming at him from the other side if he uses it at the right time and doesn't get picked off.
Coalescence already coming out for Bucket. There's Davin with the machine pistol. Numlock's being denied healing, and he's got himself a Doomfist in the face. He jumps back to point off the Primal Rage. Translocate gets him into the fight with the EMP. Will shut down all the mobility. They go for the hack to follow up, make sure it stays. Meteor Strike comes up on the multiple members. Davin able to block out the damage with his shield. No one's died in a very long time, Des, and it's only going to be one slight change that will make it go in either way. Happy with the triple kill will surely seal the deal for British Hurricane, and they're going to take away this map and move themselves to series points.
That is how you win a point, Happy. You want to shine? Well, that's exactly the kind of kill you need. Triple kill coming through. Secures it away. We go to 2-1. And like I said, if we go to Dorado now, this is basically a rematch of what we saw back in Season 1. Could you ask for any more from this series, realistically?
More Doomfist. More damn Doomfist. Doomfist
more
goats.
Doomfist, why not?
Actually, no. Do you know what we're missing now? What would be the real difference maker?
What?
Nesh's Ash. We need to see more of that.
I could do see more of that. I'm down. Of course, that depends, but of course, Gigantti, as you just saw on that last map there, are adapting a bit more as well, and as I said, they were spacing out as well with the picks they made. Didn't really give Hurricane the opportunity to make it work for them, but that final kind of Hail Mary self-destruct was more than enough to get those big 3 kills, and again, this is what we saw in the last series as well. Unexpected ultimates coming out of Ryan's. This time round, it was the self-destruct.
Well, this could be the conclusion of the series in our potentially final map. But of course, Gigantti can take it back and force us to a controlled tiebreaker. The only way you're going to find out is if you join us after the break. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders. Map number 4 coming to you very quickly. And we'll find out what that is as well. Because it's 2-1 in favor of British Hurricane. And quite frankly, we don't know if they would have won that map if Haffy did not get that triple kill with the self-destruct.
Could be staring down the barrel of a 1-1 right now, but match point comes through. That does mean, though, if Gigantti win this map, then we do get forced into the tiebreaker in the 5th map, which would be one hell of an end to the series. But we said earlier on, I really want to see Dorado here. It's what both of these teams played on back in Season 1, what ended out all of Season 1 and gave Hurricane their victory. That's the dream. I think for both teams, you've got to pick it out of history's sake.
Kind of. You kind of want them to, but then you got to remember that like both of these teams have had a Contenders victory under their belt. Gigantti, Season 1 2017, British Hurricane, Season 1 2018, and only one of them can have a chance at getting their second Contenders victory. I don't think you test fate by picking a map purely for nostalgia reasons, as much as we'd love it.
Well, think about it as well going on to Root. We did see Hurricane play this a couple of weeks ago, I think, into the final couple of weeks of the season. Wasn't really their strongest performance overall. They've had some good performances on it, and there we go. Dorado's the one. Now, I recall exactly how this ended. It was the second point. I believe Gigantti had pushed all the way to the second point and then got stopped, and Hurricane then went on the attack and managed to just about get it over the line as well. It was a blighter of a map with double snipers. That's what the meta was back then. That's how long ago it was. Do you remember double sniper? We might see it. Ash is a thing.
We might see double sniper, but I mean, probably not. I imagine mostly we'll stick on the goats. We could see some variation in the form of maybe an Ash pop out here.
I think you see Winston on second especially, but hey, there's still time for that.
I don't know how this is going to go.
It's going to be close.
You got to remember, like, for British Hurricane, there's a lot on the line here for a lot of these players, and for different reasons, okay? So, you've got yourself Numlocked, who's just come back from Overwatch League. He now needs to prove that he deserves to be back in Overwatch League. You got players like Nesh and Haffy Cool, who are on that relegated Season 2 lineup, who need to show, hang on a minute, no, we can contend here. We're going to fight this one out. And then you look at Yofi. You also look at Daned. Yep. The two new upstarts to this roster. They've just got to prove their worth. They're in the best position to succeed. They've got an amazing team around them. They really need to pop off and make a name for themselves. And of course, Bocket, he's in a similar boat to Nesh and Haffy Cool as well. These guys have all got reasons to show up here if you're Hurricane. And let's not forget about Gigantti. They're in the exact same boat here.
Exactly. The big one's for Davin, of course, as well. Our heart is broken all year long for this guy because time after time, he's seen members of his team go to Overwatch League, and he's still here in Contenders, being the central rock around this team. I don't think it's by luck as well that they've always done this well. Davin has been a very big centerpiece of this team. He built a lot of these rosters around him as well as time went by. I think it's time for him again to earn that victory for himself, and this is a real opportunity now to turn around and say, we are here to fight, we're here to get to the finals. Well, Hurricane, one teeny tiny little map away from stopping that dream coming true, buddies. Now's the time to shine. You got to do it. I really want him to do it. It's just tough against this opponent who's constantly bringing out surprises around every single corner.
And Gigantti, we actually pegged them early on as a team that wasn't going to break from the pattern. Well, what was Horizon? Right? They were trying out different stuff there. They were able to try and match them. This is what I want to see of them, is them change things up a bit as well. We saw them stick to goats when they were getting hammered by Doomfist on Lijiang Tower. Now things have changed around, and they did look good on Horizon. Yes, they didn't win, but it was still close, and I like seeing that come out of them. Upwards trajectory for British Hurricane. That's what's important about this season. Of course, they didn't get the best finish in their group. They had higher expectations when I was able to speak to Albion over the past week as well. But of course, they're still able to get things done. And Nox apparently has whipped them into shape because their final week of Contenders and also this match as well has been a stark contrast from what we saw earlier in the group stage.
Let's not forget as well, it's still a matter of time because of both of these teams. Hurricane, they had roster changes throughout all of last season. Middle of last season, they brought in Yofi and Daned. Prior to that, there was other changes coming through as well. Coach changes too came through. It's been a rough season, and for Gigantti too, even themselves back in week 1, they were speaking about it on the desk. The only series they have lost this season so far was the 3-2 against Morning Stars. And a lot of that came down to because the players had only had a few days playing together. They'd only just got together as a team themselves. So it's still very fresh for both of them. And again, both aiming towards those higher aspirations of proving that they deserve to be here. They proved themselves to be the winners as well, most importantly.
I don't think actually you got to remember Des as well with Gigantti. I know I'm taking some wind out of the sails here. All of those victories they've had have not been in a dominant fashion, shall we say. I don't think they have had a single 4-0 this season. I think someone's always been able to take a map off of them.
They absolutely have, yeah. I think they had one 4-0. Who's in their group with them? They're in Group A, aren't they?
As soon as it gets to playoffs, I stop caring about groups.
Groups don't matter, man. I think they're 1-4-0 and everything else. They had a map or something like that being dropped against. I might be thinking of HSL, though. It might be the other way around. But either way, it hasn't been a clean run all the way through. And there have been a couple of 3-2s in the mix. There was 3-2 against Windstrike, 3-2 against Morning Stars. So it's just shown that there isn't that clear-cut domination, and that's what I really wanted to see from them in this series. And yes, it's been close. Still looking good, but it's about going to that next level, guys. Got to see you get up there now and really take it away.
We've seen so much, and it's only this side of the bracket, of course, because both these teams, whoever wins in this matchup, will ultimately face 1 point in our semi-final on Thursday, I believe, if I remember correctly, because tomorrow we're going to have the other side of the bracket. There's a lot of question marks on that side as well, especially considering the performance HSL were able to put in. Our Shoes Money Crew are going to be able to do that as well.
It's always the big one with teams like that. And, of course, this is a whole conversation for tomorrow as we get into it as well. But there's a lot of volatility on that side. And I think if nothing else we've learned from today, you can say what you want about all the teams and say, oh, well, this was an easy, it's first versus fourth. Doesn't matter. We've seen a really close series last time. We've seen a really close series now. That's exactly what we all want.
Maybe jumping into Dorado. Yes, guys, lobbies exist. So
lobbies are a thing.
Lobbies are a thing. That's how we get things sorted in this game. British Hurricane, Team Gigantti, and some nice music there for us as well as we celebrate. We usually miss out on this one because we jump into the map a little bit later, but listen to these beautiful tones coming out onto the map.
Make me happy, Nesh. Make me happy. Come on, boy.
Bring out my day.
Nesh on the Ash. Be a nice one to see, but of course a bit of time until that comes about. I'm curious to see if Gigantti choose to bring something different out as well on the attack, or if they just stick to goats, essentially. We've seen teams bring out things like the Farah, player on the clock tower. We've seen Widowmakers brought out in the past. We do see a lot of Winston as well, because it's very vertical around that first point. More often than not, defenders try and hold the 2 high houses in a sense and rain down fire from above, so things can change. And I guarantee that's not the comp we're going to see out of Hurricane.
Ready for battle.
Let's see what they do actually go with. They're still mixing up a little bit. So it seems like they might have settled here with Nesh on the Ash and Danid on the Doomfist. So what's going on here?
I'm really confused about the fact that we've seen Bocket coming out on the Zen and Yofi on the Ana, because they played this exactly the other way around earlier on.
On Horizon, just this last map.
Exactly. Yeah, what can I say, man? There's a real definition of flex here, and both of them are showing it right now.
I bet Danid and Nesh are actually really happy about this particular map, because it's been one or the other that gets to play a DPS hero. And finally, both of them are able to play DPS on the same map. That's got to be quite rewarding for them, right?
Absolutely, and Gigantti, meanwhile, they're sticking to pretty much the tried and tested setup. It seems like playing that goat star, but with the Winston in tow, so you have more high ground control. That's what they'll be looking for here. You'll see probably see a couple of members of Hurricane stood on the high ground, like you can see now. They've got the Doomfist there waiting to shove someone straight back off, mind you.
They keep control of the high ground for now. Danid's still up there. He wants somewhere to drop into, and Team Gigantti are buying their time by staying inside this house. And now they're going to commit to a dive into the back. Right, Danid missed the jump, though. Luckily, he has a seismic slam. He's going to finish off Milky Man after uppercutting himself back up there. And now he jumps back to the roof, doing a bit of parkour for us in Dorado, and keeping Team Gigantti on their toes. Looking for that E, will change it to an uppercut because he doesn't want to commit to it. And Team Gigantti at the moment committing to this composition, unable to change off for the time being. Going to be some headshots coming in for Nesh, and there's the dive from Milky Man. Moves off to the side, wants to try and get onto his back line, and now doesn't have to cover attack. Tags Milky Man in the head, going to take a lot of his HP. 65% ult charge, ready to get that Bob online any second now.
They're backing away though for now. It's more a case of wanting to get dived onto and just picked off and isolated. So they are playing very safe right now. You can see all the long range heroes have dropped way back to the back. But look at the ults about to come online for Hurricane here. This is where it can get explosive.
Zens have been traded off the map. Danid able to get one off. Zappis, of course, taking up Bucket. So Numlock comes in. Bob going to be sent in. Start focusing everyone. I don't think he's going to live. Bob is not long for this world, Des. Unfortunately, I believe he's going to be taken off the field, but that's the same thing for the supports of Team Gigantti as Danid on the back line, and now he's looking for Zappis. Gonna get that protected barrier, expires it out. Zappe! It buys enough time for the Zen to sideswipe him with the orbs. And Danny's got a bit of a travel to come back. He does go down with the Meteor Strike. But look at the ults online for British Hurricane. They got a buffet on the go.
I guess if you want anyone to go down, it's going to be your Doomfist because you can get back so fast. But you speak about the buffet for British Hurricane. Well, Gigantis are just about to come out of the oven. Everything is about to come online for them as well. This is going to be one hell of an explosive fight.
Yeah, if he's got a nano boost, gives it over to Numlock. He jumps into the back line, forces an early Transcendence to keep himself up. Happy in the meantime, finding Davin. He's going to go down with that Graviton Surge. That's big for Hurricane as they can keep up the pressure. Team Gigantti, I think they've identified that, and they're going to respect it. And they're trying to retreat, but Milky Man gets caught off guard on the back line. Danit won't be able to commit. Zappe again finding him while he was focusing on his support comrade, Little Bo.
Think about the pressure now feeling like Team Gigantti as well, being held like this, and they know that this is their last chance to win a map and push themselves ahead of Hurricane and take this through to a 5th map. It's going to be playing into their playstyle a bit, I think. They're going to feel it hurting them.
They're locked down Numlock. They want to isolate him on top of the payload with that Graviton Surge as the rest of Hurricane's looking to get onto the field. Bob, he'll go and contest for them, but he's got to pass the point. Bob, what are you doing, lad? You're not going to be able to contest it from there, and you've confined yourself to that corner. You're not going to get much done. Bucket will use the Transcendence to keep himself and the rest of his team alive, but now they're going to commit with the sound barrier, using it aggressively early in the fight. Lilbo takes out Nesh as Darren will find Milky Man, but another support goes down. Gigantti have got control for now. Darren needs to pop off. He wants to keep Hurricane in this particular fight. We're going to find no joy. 1 minute on the clock. Team Gigantti going to cap point 8.
Right, 3 minutes burnt down by Hurricane there to at least hold Gigantti at bay for a short time, but they do manage to get things on the move. Nerves can settle a bit now, get the push on towards this second point. This is where I expect to see some vertical mobility coming out, if nothing else, from both sides, because, well, there's a lot of vertical high ground to contest.
Well, Darren's going to change it up, going over to Sombra instead, so that's another hero he's treating us to. Typically, Nesh would play it, but I think he's quite content with his Ashe in this matchup.
I think when there's so much high ground here, you need someone on the Nesh. On the Nesh.
Gigantti need to put someone on Nesh. That's what they need to do, and they're trying to send someone up there, but he's going to be knocked back.
He can go and play back corner as well if this does push too much further, but Zuppy's already gone down to Bucket here. That plays in their favour immediately.
Oh, unlucky Zuppe. Go again, I guess, as Numlock will go down to Facility as well. But look at his high ground. Bucket taking out Davin. The Orb of Discord's good. Goes for the Dynamite. Won't take out Brig like it does in the cinematic, unfortunately. But Bob's about to be online for Nesh. And, well, let's see if he can do something.
Let's see if he can not send him running behind the wall where he can't shoot anyone this time.
Yeah, a bit of an overstretch.
The last two haven't really done too much for them, but at least he is there. And the best thing is here, he can use it from the high ground. He, of course, can go and contest on the low ground for them. It's basically another tank in this fight.
Absolutely, and he can knock people up to your eye level. There you go, Bob's going to go down, hits the wall straight away, and now he's going to start focusing Team Gigantti, and he's an auto-locker, he's basically an aimbot, and it's going to be difficult. You have to pay him respect, and they're all hiding inside the church to deal with it. The second they walk out, start taking fire. Will disappear, he does have a time limit, like a lot of ultimates do in this game. Graviton Surge being eaten up, that's unfortunate for Davin. They're still making the payload move around this corner. Nesh is quite safe for now, but has to hide away from the self-destruct. Terrain's good, but Coach Gun is a thing, and he gets back onto the high ground, but now he doesn't have it to knock Milky Man back. Has to drop back down. Milky Man got very low. One more shot, just sideswipe him. Someone kill him. Happy. He's not able to get the kill because Milky Man plays very well around his bubble.
Oh, he found him on the corner.
Weaves that shot in at the end, though, unfortunately, after Milky Man had great play. But Ultimate's coming online. Numlock got a Primal Rage. EMP for Danid. Nesh is close to the Bob. Again, look on the side of Team Gigantti. Similar Ultimates coming out. Sound Barrier. Zuppe with the Transcendence. Milky Man going to keep himself a little bit alive, a little bit longer with the Primal Rage. But look at Danid. He's going for the Scout. He's dropped into the back line. Wants the EMP, but he's been detected. Going to have to back out.
Wait and try again, I guess. Does have the EMP, like you say, so they should be able to shut this one down, or at least if they want it. That hat comes through onto the Devo, I think, as well.
I don't think it connected. I think he was able to get there in the last second and interrupt with the Primal Rage. Bob's on the point, doing Bob things. Shooting targets very casually, will leap off at light speed. Danny gets the EMP off before he drops down, but I don't think that's enough for Hurricane to stay in this. Zuppe has a sound barrier, as does the rest of Team Gigantti, as they're going to be healed up. Or whatever they can get protection coming out, but this is a very slow walk-in for Team Gigantti. There's been no massive pop-off moment. It's just been a grudging, forceful match. Very slow as they ease it in. Zappis taking out Happy Cool after a DMEC came in from Davin. Numlock will return a kill. I don't know if it's enough for British Hurricane. They do have spawn advantage to play with. They DMEC Zappis. Davin will finally shut down Numlock, get a Graviton Surge out. No one's in it, but it does zone him away from the payload enough to get that checkpoint and move into the final section of this map.
Nice stuff. I imagine now maybe we see Nesh move off here because there aren't too many angles you can play on. If you can get on the high ground, great. I have a feeling though Gigantti with Milky Man on side will be able to contest that super easy. I would like to see him switch over. There we go. Back onto their more standard Doomfist Goats. And then finally, Danny's going to go away himself. Back onto full-on Goats here to try and shut down Gigantti's final push.
Very confined final point of this map. So Goats seems to make sense here as they're going to press on the attack.
Milky Man switched over as well to matches, so we do have some raw Goats versus Goats action.
We'll be holding that corner for Numlock. Having resourceless cover is really good here to play around the terrain. You can hide half the numbers behind it. Apical. Then the payload in, gets stuck on the payload a little bit longer than it needs to be, but it will still find time and space. Numlock being masked around a little bit, but Dan is the one to go down first. Yofi taken out by Facility. Hurricane being pushed to the wayside here by Team Gigantti, and this is one of my concerns for Hurricane against Gigantti would be if they go for traditional Goats v Goats, I don't know if they match up to a team that just refines it down to a T.
Well, Dan has switched back over once again. They said, well, clearly we managed to beat you with this before, so let's just go for it again. But looking at the ults coming online for Gigantti, they've got far more to play with here in terms of combos. In fact, you're relying almost exclusively on Bucket to be able to stall this point out as we go into the final 45 seconds.
Numlock's got himself an Earth Shatter. He gets it through the payload. Multiple members found. Is he going to charge up and lock up Milky Man? Orbit Discord's there. Happy Cool follows up with the damage. Nice synergy there from Happy and Numlock to be able to pull that one off and get the damage done in time. Dan is on the back line. Protective Barrier can only keep him alive for so long. Has to use the mobility and his damage to get away from danger. Nesh is about to get a Graviton Surge of his own online. So with 20 seconds remaining, British Hurricane have a strong position to stop a completion from Team Gigantti.
That's what they're looking towards as well. That's a key thing here. That does mean this map definitely ends here, but not quite. Graviton Surge comes out into the trance.
And self-destruct is there. You can't heal through that damage, but you can certainly block it out. Zappe also committing. Milky Man finds 4 and knocks him onto the back line. Danid tries to get Facility to temper this wave coming at them from Team Gigantti as he wants to commit and find more kills. Seismic slams back in, goes for the uppercut. Zappe needs to dive, but he can't get it. As Zappis will take him out from afar and push on to this point. Overtime is in effect. They just need to complete the guarantee themselves another attempt as Numlock jumps on with the Orb of Harmony, gets a D-Mech, throws out the Shatter, but the point and the bodies are coming up from Hurricane. I think they might have done enough, but I'm not quite sure as the Gigantti are going to pull it back. Here comes the Transcendence to keep it alive.
Rocket back on there, keeping them in one piece here. Gigantti still have the numbers. It's more of a waiting game here for that to time out. Zuppe even matched it out as well. They've got members around. Daniel's back in the back line. Can he find someone? No, he can't. 2 more kills for Gigantti. They will have it here. They'll complete. And now Hurricane backs against the wall. They're the ones who've got to push this through, or we go to a tiebreaker.
We know the Gigantti have got one more round in them, as long as Hurricane can complete themselves. If not, we go to a control map tiebreaker, map number 5. And we talk about how control is a different beast to the other map archetypes and how dominant British Hurricane were on map number 1. Even if Gigantti wins here, they've got to be a little bit concerned moving into that control map.
It's always going to be the problem because you just know that when it comes to control maps, they are so on a nice edge. They can change so quickly and unexpected things can surprise you. Hurricane have already pulled out the trump card of the Daniel on that Doomfist in the GOATS comp. Gigantti, they've just shown yet again they can deal with it. They have a response, not always a direct one, but they still have a response and a way to deal with it. So for Hurricane now, you want to get yourself a healthy time bank here to give it a good go. Let's not forget, if Hurricane complete, Gigantti get at least a minute to have another go. What did we say earlier on? It was Dorado that Gigantti managed to fully complete with 1 minute in the time bank earlier on this season.
Different beast teams have changed. Like we said, there's only 3 members who were in at that Season 1 playoff final. It was Bocket, it was Happycool, and it was Davin. 9 out of the 12 members of this team are different. The organization remembers, and the 3 that are there remember the sting of defeat and the glory of victory. But there's a lot of players who are going to be fresh to it under this organization.
Gigantti opting for a bit of a different strat here as well. Not going to replicate what Hurricane did and go for things like the Ash. Hurricane is sticking to that though, even on the attack it feels like. In Gigantti, well, as we've already seen before, why not go for the tried and tested GOATs to be able to defend?
Danid wants that Sombra, and Nesh, of course, wants that Ash. And look at the full hold position Gigantti want to take here. They're not going to let Hurricane take an inch. Haffy, of course, will mix it up. Zappe got taken out on the back line by Danid. They're going triple DPS on this one. Dez Haffy call flexes over to the Farah. And Nesh has got a great position behind the enemy team, but the sightlines are limited.
The question is exactly how great is it exactly because of the sidelines he managed to get himself into, but Happy is broken free of spawn. He's got to worry about that. Zappe is trying to chase him through the sky to give him hassle, otherwise it's raining down from above for pretty much free here.
They're going to be able to clear this, but it's all about how much time Gigantti can waste just for this position alone.
There we go. Not long apparently, about 30 seconds, so you can't complain. The nice thing about having this full hold setup is that if you lose this, you can still get back and contest in market itself. The main and key downside is that you're basically changing out 30-40 seconds for a lot of ult charge being given over to the other side.
Davin is on that McCree again. He's back on the McCree. Milky Man going to flex over to the Winston as well, who, like I said, has personally surprised me because his Reinhardt was definitely stronger than his Winston, or it has been in the season so far, and he's been able to shot quite nicely in this matchup.
Davin's a big one to watch out for here. He really took control of Numbani early when he played across onto the McCree, but now let's see if he can replicate the same magic. Again, Happy Call going pretty low, but not getting picked off, and I'm looking towards where Zappis is as well. If he's flying in towards Happy, expect shots coming from Davin too.
Absolutely. He managed to get a lot of burst damage onto Zappis before he had to take cover from Davin's pressure. The Orb Discord is onto Milky Man. Happy Call going to take that direct hit and burst him out. Moving into position, wants to get there for the barrage. Might not even need to, as Zappe now on the fire from these rockets. He's the last remaining Gigantti member who's up there apart from Zappis. He's going to get D-Mech and taken out. So British Hurricane got a little bit more in the time bank than Gigantti did as they push onto the second section of this map. 4
ults to play with as well. Some pretty big ones at that as well. Transcendence for defensive purposes. Bob, not really been the most effective, friendly teammate, should we say, here on this map.
You might also struggle with Bob here as well because you want to move the payload when Bob is naturally stationary after you move him out, unless there is a way to land him on the payload.
I imagine there is, but I think it's more of a space creator in this case they want to look towards. Or you put him in front of the payload and let the payload push him along. Very
true, that's also an option, but Nesh is nowhere near the payload. David will take out Danid. He's going to drop him into the fight and he's going to get a lot of attention. Uses the coach gun to get himself into a better position. His Happy Call goes in with the double. Garage being good to take him out, but Zappis the one to take him out rather than Davin, who finds Yofi, so no more wingman in the sky. Can't get a res off as well. Nesh could be caught out by those shots on his way down. Zappis moves in to deal with Numlock, who unfortunately takes out Davin and Zappe. 2-for-1 trade. He gets away with his life as well. What an animal.
Literally. Makes it work as well. They get the point. They bring down Milky Man in the back line. And then go on the aggressive. But it's Gigantti with those 5 flashing ult bars. And you might look as well towards Milky Man, who's not too far away from his own. They have tools to stall here. Second point. Admittedly, we've gone further than what we saw back in the Season 1 finals when this got held up on that second point. But Hurricane now are playing for time bank advantage. When it comes to the overtime, they at least can go for it. That's assuming they even managed to complete here. In which case, again, Gigantti take the map when we go into a tiebreaker map.
Davin's getting ready to check his watch as he looks behind new. Nano going in, Electric Cowboy, and then look at the block coming out. You just send that Zenyatta right into his face, deny all the shots, and they get soaked into the invulnerable Omnic, who lets out that healing as well. So they're going to deny two ults with one, but it's a powerful Transcendence to lose. Nesh is about to get Bob back online to throw into this fight. Stuns up Numlock, won't get a kill, still rattling off those shots, dealing damage constantly, will avoid the Bob knockup, but then he's going to be slept in the back line. They don't want to deal with Bob and expire most of his duration. They don't have a sleep dart for someone else. D-Mech on Zappis, Facility will find Numlock. Self-destruct goes onto the point, Danid will find Facility, and Nesh on the high ground gets good explosive. The dot's going to do most of the work, but Danid will clean up. Bucket takes off Milky Man, and you got ourselves a sleeping Happy Call on the point. But one thing's for certain, Des, Hurricane, they're into that final section of the map.
They absolutely are, with about, what, 4 minutes 15 on the time bank? 4 minutes 5. Close enough. Gigantti even going to change things up themselves as well. Milky Man going away from that Winston back on towards the Rhine. And I expect Hurricane will probably go for Goats themselves here as well. It is the most effective comp you can play when going inside. But as always, they're sticking down it back on that Doomfist. We've already seen what work he can do in this today. I just want to see him not it, man. That's all I'm saying.
We've identified as well that Gigantti are winning out the Goats v Goats direct heads up, so I think the only play Hurricane has is to go for the Doomfist favor. They've lost Yofi, they've nano boosted their Reinhardt, and the shatter comes out from Numlock. There's no follow-up damage, and he's going to get shattered himself. He's going to get locked down, not shattered, sorry, he's going to get shield back into the charge, knocked on the back. Team Gigantti take control just after the third entrance. You know what Numlock was like then? He got that shut down to the whole team. He's like that big, like the little kid with a stick like one day. He goes up and hits someone on the back with a stick or something, and then stands there like, yeah, I hurt him. They turn around and snap that stick in half, and you have to run. He just got melted down in seconds as well. I was going to go for the, he's a dog who's caught a cat and not quite sure what to do with it. Kind of. Right. It's more they turn around and completely ruined him for it as well, but the sound barriers are back out again. Hurricane are pushing in quite aggressively here. They find Nesh with that self-destruct. I think there's a forced self-destruct coming out from Zappis, so to get Nesh on it as well is even better. And Zappis doing work immediately once he remixed the micro missiles hitting up Danid. Zappe taking out Numlocked, and the rest of the supports are going to fall down for Hurricane. Yofi and Nesh going to retreat back to the spawn room and try and go as 6. Bucket out to Transcendence, and Numlocked is about to get that Earth Shatter online. As it stands, they are struggling to break through Gigantti on this first point hole. We said already, Gigantti, a very proficient Goats team, will make it tough for them. And Danid hasn't yet really found that flank angle he's looking for. Hasn't gone off to the side while the rest of the team go main or anything. That's what I want to see him doing. Here he is now to the left. Wait and see when he goes for the engage. He needs to split the attention of Team Gigantti so Hurricane can go on the offensive. Goes in on the back line, going to throw out a Graviton Surge. I believe that was eaten up. No, they saved it just for Danid on the back line. And they're going to commit to this one. Cool. Not going to get much done here. He's going to be taken out by Milky Man because he has to go on the Brigitte when they're running this Danid flavor of Goats. They have got a Space Jam online. Nesh with the Graviton Surge into the Danid Meteor Strike. It's a powerful combination that can come out of the bag here for Hurricane. They haven't had one all series, albeit the slightly belated one on Horizon. Got that Transcendence online as well. If they really need a panic button just to mash in and go, please, Bucket, come and save us so we can try and close out this map. But Gigantti have got a panic button of their own in the form of Zappe as well. And this is the problem, is that Gigantti have been cycling these ultimates so well, and they've still got both support ultimates online to play with. Stand up Milky Man, hasn't used that Earth Shatter yet. He's got a protective barrier, going to commit to it. Nice block there from Numlock. Transcendence being used. There's the Graviton Surge. Are they going to commit to it? Drop down. They're going to use on the back line, looking to catch him on the retreat, but he doesn't actually affect anyone because the shielding was good for Team Gigantti to deny Danid's damage. Zappis going to be moving up with that self-destruct. Davin's already found Bucket. Zappis again going to clear out Danid. 3 members of Hurricane alive, and they're on the retreat, and we're down to the final minute. Gigantti did burn everything though in that defense, but with a minute left, let's not forget how much time as well Hurricane had to play with earlier. 4 minutes and 6 seconds they had when they hit this point, and they have not managed to move the car at all. They've still got to complete yet. This is dangerous territory now where Hurricane are potentially facing down the barrel of another control map. dangerous prospect with 44 seconds remaining. Yofi's got a sound barrier. Dan is close to the Meteor Strike. Other than that, they're looking pretty dry. They might get the rally online for Hafty Cord as well. Gigantti looking pretty bare bones round as well. They're going to have to do this without ultimates, rely on their own play. Numlock taking a lot of attention. Rally being popped to give them that extra edge. And Gigantti going to pay them respect. Dan misses the combo, and Zappe going to take him out. They're playing 5v6. Going to be sound barrier committed. British Hurricane want to do it in this attempt. Shatter finds 2 in the front lines. It's Nesh and Bocky going down. They'll be swept up by the front line of Team Gigantti with 9 seconds remaining. Des, I think this is Team Gigantti forcing out that tiebreaker. They've changed history. Dorado is no longer cursed.
Just in the overtime as well. Just to ensure there's a bit of a lingering effect on that curse, but like you say, it's pretty much done. Danik goes down. That punch at the very end could have been the difference maker, but it's not to be. Gigantti level the series out at 2-2. We have literally got another tiebreaker, 2-5 map series today to decide who goes through to the semi-final.
Not going to lie to you, I expected this to be the series that did it. I did not expect our first series of the day to go the distance. But I'm happy that this series did, because we're seeing more 2 great teams going at it. An improved Hurricane, a revitalized Hurricane from what we saw in the group stage, and Gigantti maintaining a consistent level of dominance as we've been moving through this particular season. It's refreshing to see. We've seen Ash being implemented on the new patch just for playoffs, and teams having fun with compositions. It's not the GOAT slugfest we were expecting.
Absolutely. I mean, admittedly, thinking about it now, this next map is also going to be Hurricane's Choice, which complain to it a lot. They've shown that they don't want to play this standard heads-up GOATs versus GOATs, so it could come down to Danid again coming back out on that Doomfist, or we go somewhere else where they can get even more creative, something like Ilios, for example, where they can play Happy on that Pharah once again.
Loves that triple DPS. It's been an option for him back in Season 2 and now in Season 3. Series is tied to a piece. This is the final map of the day. Hurricane versus Gigantti. Only one of them can keep their playoff dreams alive. Do not go anywhere.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders, our last quarterfinal and our last map of the night. British Hurricane versus Gigantti has gone the distance. They've changed history. Dorado was not the final map of the series this time. We're going to a control map, and if I cast your mind back to that first map, it seems like a while ago now, there's nearly a couple of hours. It went very well for British Hurricane, and if they can repeat that, they're going to be walking away with themselves a semi-final spot.
It's just how close it's come between these two teams. And I think, to be honest with you, the result we all ultimately really wanted as well. Seeing these two teams go down to a final map, and I said earlier on, because we'll see a lot of flexibility, it's exactly what they have gone to. Now, I'm already thinking, because this is going to play quite nicely into Gigantti, because they have a very good comp they tend to play around on well, which involves Davin playing on that McCree. They bring the Orisa out with Milky Man. We've seen them play it before. There's no reason why they wouldn't try and do it again. Hurricane must be aware of that as well. Again, their map pick, they would have prepped for it. Dun, 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 dun.
The suspense, the tension.
It's killing me.
I want to know what they're going to run with. If British Hurricane keep with this,
No, it's Boop City, mate. Of course
you'll
it is.
have my attention if British Hurricane run with this. Nesh on that Ash. He's had a okay game. It's been a bit of a mixed bag on certain maps, and Happy Cool flexing over to the Farah, getting some time off of D.Va. In fact, I think this is the series where he's played the least D.Va all year.
I like how Gigantti have rolled out as well, fully in preparation and awareness of what Hurricane are going to bring out. Just by bringing Davin and saying, well, we're going to have to deal with a fire at some point. There's probably going to be Nesh as well. Oh, Davin almost getting two-shot.
Yeah, the direct hit coming out there from that distance from Happy Cool. It's nearly lethal for Davin as he's taken aback by that damage. And you have to think twice about poking up for these pop shots. And meanwhile, you just see Davin moving around on the Wrecking Ball, just causing havoc. No one's shut him down as of yet. Goes down to 50% HP. Point is now online, but no one's sound enough to go over there and grab it. I think Gigantti are trying to position themselves to do so. Lilbo's going to get on there.
They've got to get Davin.
Taking out Milky Man.
They're desperate to find Davin. They keep on looking for him, so Happy Cool can be a bit more free in what he's trying to do, but it still kills being traded back and forth. D.Va's gone. That's a big release for him now, at least.
Numlocked at least comes in because they have the benefit of having a Mercy in that composition, and now Nash is starting to open it up. Zap is being taken out as well, and they're going to walk onto the points. They give over control of their point to Gigantti. Hurricane has the man advantage. They need to get in there and start contesting. Milky Man being pushed back with the coach gun, but now he's got that on cooldown. Nesh needs to be careful. Can't be tanking that lightning at face value. Lilbo finds a way to get Happy Cool, but they're going to send Bob onto the point and deny Milky Man from getting onto the point with the nano boost of his own. Yofi's going down low. They're going to throw the bionic grenade, but they're healing each other. The support keeping the pressure off themselves from Milky Man, but while this is all going on, Gigantti just still have contained control of the point.
I can't believe Hurricane brought down 3 members and still couldn't get onto the point to make anything happen. They said enough is enough, time to go and play the way we normally do. Let's bring down it out once again, but let's not forget, this actually plays quite nicely into Gigantti. Without the fact that Milky Man is on the Rhine, you're still looking towards Davin here as he was the perfect response to this earlier on.
But look at what they're running into as well, Des. I'm not worried about the picks, I'm worried about the ults. There's 5 of them online. They're going to be popping that Wright to kick things off, and here's Davin. Checking the time, he's knocked around. They wanted to go for a boot, but Davin's isolated behind enemy lines for Zappis to sweep up, and Milky Man comes in with the Primal Rage. We've entered the second half of the charge for Team Gigantti in terms of map progress, as we're about to hit 60%, and that's a 1 fight. The only one who really got any substantial ult charge away from that, and that British Hurricane side, is Bucket, close to that Transcendence. And they still need to burn through a sound barrier, a self-destruct, and of course Davin's close to that High Noon.
Really smart the way they pushed Hurricane and kept them in their spawn for a short amount of time, so it gave Milky Man enough time to, after the Primal Rage expired, get back to spawn and return back on the Rhine, so they don't even miss a beat here as well. Great execution by Gigantti.
Speaking of beats, Lilbo's got one, Yofi's about 60% away from one, so we're not going to be seeing that sound barrier come out anytime soon, unfortunately, unless there's a major pop-off. Taking the fight to them, there's the sound barrier, they're moving forward, self-destruct over the top to buy some space for Davin, who's holding on to that deadline. Will find Nesh, round the shield, stun. The stun comes out onto Numlocked as well, as Vicinity will take out Happy Cool. Danit trying to get on the point to contest, it's 98%. He's going down low, taken out before he can even get off the ground. Nice flick onto Bucket, throws out the flashbang to stop any potential overtime. We talked about dominance. This time, it's Team Gigantti.
Oh dear, Hurricane. This was your map pick. You had the opening kills and still couldn't touch the point. The worst thing now is if they go to well, that's Gigantti's probably map that I would favor them to take. Maybe here on Ruins they take it and we do go to well for the final one. That's going to make things so intense for Hurricane.
Des, we focused on the highest highs of both of the last time they met, which was the Season 1 playoffs for 2018. We should start looking at the lowest low. What was the map that confirmed relegation for British Hurricane in Season 2?
It was Ilios against the Bastion, was it not?
Ilios against August and Hungary.
Then the Bastion. Was it
This map could be a bad omen for British Hurricane, but they want to break away history. We've seen the path and the story change from what happened in Season 1. Let's see if Hurricane can break the story of Season 2, persevere through ruins, and take this to well.
Gotta make this work though. Gotta see Danny get some picks. That's what I'm looking towards. There's 2 already.
Beautiful by Numlock as he takes out Milky Man and Lilbo. This is a much more proactive Hurricane coming into this second round. Danid goes in with the elbow drop, and Zappe not going to get the kill this time, when it's usually been a 50-50 trade on those regards.
Much better. They do get the first cap, so a bit more decisive than last time around, like you say. Now the question is, how long can they hold it for? I'm still really nervous just thinking about going to well in this case. We've got to get through ruins first.
Numlock's got an ultimate. That's going to help him move that progress a little bit down the line. Danid's off to the side, wanting to distract where he can, and potentially get a pick on the back line.
Go pick.
Going to commit to it. Won't get it just yet, but will displace the Reinhardt. Seismic Slam won't get a knock off. Davin was on the floor, and that's just going to sweep him up. Rocket takes out Facility again. British Hurricane, they've got control of this one for now as they're about to hit 25%. Zappis going for the reset. We're about to get a Meteor Strike online for Danid.
We already have that Transcendence online as well for Bucket, which will give them all the favors in the world when they need it. Bit of a kind of scary moment there for Hurricane as well, where they had a couple of members below 20% HP. A couple of swings for a Reinhardt, they would have gone down. They just couldn't quite finish Davin off for the longest time because of the shield coming out of Milky Man. So Gigantti are close to bringing it back, but just not quite. Both teams have now got Transcendence online to play with though. And Davin, well, quite far away in terms of when it comes to that Graviton Surge.
The one thing British Hurricane have been missing from this Doomfist Goat is the Space Jam combination. There's the Graviton Surge, where's the Meteor Strike? Might hold on to it because they've got the damage already. Going to burn through Team Gigantti, and they're pushing to 60%. Team Gigantti cannot get out of this initial ruin.
It's completely stuck. Every time they try and push forward, they are being stopped by Hurricane. This is exactly what we spoke about on the analyst desk though for the last series earlier on today. We were speaking about once you win that first fight and you start getting the ultimate combos rolling over again and again, it's really hard to come back into it. And it's still staying true here. Hurricane still using the ult effectively. 1 ult was all they needed last time round to win that fight out. Now they've got 4 to play with.
Dan's got the Meteor Strike, so that's a get out of jail free card, or that's a I'm going to double down on the aggression card. And it's really, Dan has been using it to double down on damage.
Final fight.
Holding off to the side, 90%. Rally pop for Team Gigantti. They want to keep everyone alive. Goes in with a rocket punch. It's going to be Zappis tanking the hit on that one. Dan going down low. Going to get healed up immediately afterwards. Graviton Surge pulls them together. He's on the back line. They're hiding around. Doesn't get the combination off in time. Gigantti fails their signature move and couldn't get them away from that self-destruct.
Oh,
nice shot from Numlock, and that might be enough. British Hurricane are going to force out well.
And well, what have we got here? I'm so worried about this final map still. They do cleanse it out with the final strike that's hanging around. But Little Boy, I'm afraid, my friend, there's not much you can do to pull this one back. But well is a very different story. Like I said earlier on, Orisa McCree, we've seen them play this Super McCree comp quite a few times, and Davin has popped off every single time. If you're going to shine anytime now, but if you're going to put your name into the history books of Gigantti for a solid reason of taking you through to the semis, now is the best time to do it.
This map will certainly bring back bad memories for a fair few members of British Hurricane. Mainly Hafakul, Bucket, and of course Nesh. The team's different, they've got a different core here, they've changed the components out, hopefully for the better. What will they assault? What could be their last map of this Contenders season?
It looks like Hurricane are going to try and go for a similar sort of setup here, but they're playing with Haffy on that Roadhog as well, going for those grabs to drag into the well. A lot of this is going to play on him. Nesh sticking still with the Ashe. Surprised he isn't himself going to the McCree here. Really favouring playing on that Ashe right now, and Danny even on the Hanzo. Haven't seen that for a while.
Nice damage flavor for British Hurricane. Davin going to be on that McCree instead of the Roadhog, so no hook pull for Team Gigantti. Going to mix it up after seeing what they've got. I don't think they'll even relinquish control. Look where Nesh is. That's the same spot that Casper used as Bastion against them.
Yep, and crushed them with. So I'm pretty sure they're more than familiar with that spot by now. Done a bit of practice to
But look at this, across the way. Dan is on the opposite side as well. That's 2 angles of attack. Very hard for Team Gigantti to be able to deal with.
Facility already gone down as well to Bucket with the headshot.
You don't got to worry about the damage dealers. You got to worry about Doc Buck. He's coming in with the hands. He's throwing those orbs. He's getting those kills. And the first cap going over to British Hurricane.
Nice lead as well. I love just seeing that when you just see the go flying and then suddenly, that's mine. Thank you.
Yoink. Unfortunately, Going to need to be yoinking more of those. They want to win out this map. Throwing it over the top again.
And again.
It's just slow moving. It's a slow
It's so
moving
easy to
projectile.
see.
But it does force out that defense matrix. There is a brief cooldown. I wonder if they're going to use that and abuse that fact to get something in later on in the game.
Still managed to hold the point. Let's not forget, this whole time, Hurricane is holding this point. Down he goes. That's a big one for Facility, catching out Numlocked.
Happycool's going to get an answer with the mech. Bok finding David, taking out a DPS threat from Team Gigantti. They're going to be able to get on the point and contest the Facility. Finding Yofi, Danid answering onto Milky Man with that Storm Arrow to take him out. Happycool going through a flank. He's truly been giving us a display of all the heroes he can play on this one, as Nesh is going to take out Facility. British Hurricane hit the 50% mark with 0% capture from Team Gigantti.
And we thought all we were going to see was tanks. Well, now we're seeing essentially 4 hit scan DPS. Well, okay, Hanzo's projectile, but for all intents and purposes here against a slow-moving Orisa, it may as well be hit scan. Just constantly having damage raining across, picks going left, right, and center. But Hurricane, like I say, they've been in control the whole time. We're at 65% because Gigantti cannot force them off the point.
Happycool got himself that whole hog. Hang on a minute.
Eaten.
Eating! You
Right
did that right in front of a Diva. That's unfortunate, Danid, but we still have tools to make this alive. Facility taking out Nesh. Zappis, obviously onto Happycool. He's going to go down with that whole hog. If ever there was an opportunity for you to get this, it's now. You've got the man advantage. Press on the attack. Went for the boot, weren't going to get it. 2 more kills in favor of Team Gigantti. This has got to be the flip, but it's at 90%. It only takes 1 more fight for British Hurricane.
Absolutely, and you've got to look at the upcoming online. It's already here for Milky Man, but I'm looking towards Numlock coming out with the bot. They're changing off with the bongo. That would have been the big one for them, but they're changing everything out. Even going to see a Sombra Tracer come through. This is something we haven't seen for a couple of seasons now.
Season 1, hello? Tracer?
Is that you? Beautiful.
Well, what an attempt. If it can work, if it comes out for them and catches Team Gigantti off guard, they aren't running into a Brigitte who usually shuts down the Tracer, but they're definitely going to be running into Davin, who's got that flashbang available for them.
I got a bad feeling about this for Hurricane. They're playing into so many ultimates online as well. They've got to start from fresh and they maybe get 3 fights here. This is a huge risk. They've got to find one big opening pick right now onto Davin, maybe onto Facility, and turn this around. But Milky Man's dropped down the bongo. They should not be able to lose this
Supercharger
fight.
immediately, Dragon Strike through the point, but they're sitting on a Transcendence. Thankfully, Nesh has already found Davin. They're not going to be able to get that one off. Nesh again onto Zappe. That's 2 kills. The sound barrier comes out from Zappe. Numlock takes away that bongo. They're moving onto the point. They will get the Holt kill onto Bucket, so shut him down. He goes down after using the Transcendence, though, so thankfully he got it off. Facility needs to be dismounted. They're going for the kill. Push him in the corner. Denies him off the health pack. The mini is not up. What a boot coming up from Lilbo to stem the flow, but positional control is in favor of British Hurricane.
Still going to be able to cut this point back, and the fact that it's taken so long to wipe these members out does mean Gigantti might be able to get back on the point. Davin even going back over to Ye Old Faithful, back onto Tracer, just to touch this point. Gigantti 5% away from being knocked out by Hurricane.
They need to get on the point. They need to contest. Facility looking to press forward. They're going to trigger overtime. Milky Man steps up, but he's feeling the lightning from Numlock. Davin onto the back line. Facility finding out Danid already. They have a man advantage. Jofi going down low, but he's not dead yet. Numlock has to pop the primal race to stay alive. Milky Man with the double Holt will send Bucket and Nesh flying as Gigantti are looking for the flip, and they're surely going to get it. Davin finally killing off Numlock and Yofi at the end. This is getting dangerous for Hurricane.
Hearts are pounding on both sides now, no doubt. Literally one more fight for Hurricane, it's theirs. Gigantti did the right thing by staggering out that last fight, leaving themselves enough time to be able to get back and contest. A lot of that work being done by Davin with the harassment in the back line. This is literally do or die for Hurricane. They win here or they're out of playoffs. That's how close this is. One fight, just like back in Season 1 to determine who goes through.
Just like back in Season 2 to send them back to trials. This is the map that they have to redeem themselves on, and what a fitting map to do it if they can pull it off, but they have to break through Gigantti. We're into 90%. One more fight should decide it all. Self-destruct on the point. Holt takes out Damage. He's going to be got down. Self-destruct is going to take out Numlocked as well as the bongo's been removed from the field. 2 members down. They need to keep the pressure up if they want to maintain control. Self-destruct finds no one on the side of British Hurricane as Davin moves forward on the Tracer. Nesh is going to go down. This is it for Team Gigantti as they take out the mech. They take out Happy. British Hurricane can't quite break the curse of Ilios. It's Team Gigantti taking themselves to the semi-finals.
And finally, the redemption arc is alive. Last time round, Hurricane with the winners, but Gigantti find themselves in the semi-finals after a blinder of a series as well. All 5 maps, all 3 rounds to settle the tiebreaker. They walk away victorious against odds that at the start of that round did not look like it was going their way.
Gigantti finally get their revenge as an organization against British Hurricane. A fitting way to send them out of the playoffs and keep their dreams alive. They will go on to face 1 point on Thursday. British Hurricane, your season's over. We'll be seeing you again, though, Season 1 of 2019. And the analysts and a lot of people at home were expecting this to go very one way towards Gigantti. Hurricane proved that was not the case.
Absolutely not. It was very, very close, but ultimately, again, for Gigantti, this is their story now, all the way to the finals. You can't let it end here in the semi-finals, guys. Get all the way and finally take it away. Again, one hell of a series, and I'm sure the guys on the desk have got a lot to say about it.
Absolutely, and we'll be sending it over to them very shortly. But Des, I'm so glad the series turned out this one. We knew it was going to be close, and it's gone the distance. I couldn't ask for a better one.
Absolutely not. Well, let's throw it over to the desk and see what they have got to say about that series. I'm sure they've got an absolute ton.